Let's respond. And we don't have much time to be able to enjoy it. It's great to be able to punch a ticket to the playoffs. That's obviously always a goal, is to be able to give yourself a chance to play extra games after those 17 that you're guaranteed. But I love this football team, and I'm excited, about being able to start the preparation for Seattle. Our guys are starting recovery right now, and what a hell of a challenge we have coming up on Thursday.
What was the adjustment that you made coming into the second half to get 3 straight 3-and-outs?
I think our guys really just, didn't give up any loose yardage. I thought we knocked out the run, and I thought we were sticky in coverage, and we were able to apply pressure to force him to progress past some of their primary options. And so, just being able to earn the right to be able to get the pen back in your hand a little bit defensively. That's an explosive offense. I mean, they're leading the league in scoring. They got playmakers all over the place. Obviously, Jared does an excellent job being able to distribute the ball, but I thought we were able to affect and influence that and just disrupt their rhythm a little bit. We knocked out the run all day, and that was a big factor for them to only have, I think it was 20 carries for 70 yards with how explosive they are. So really solid job. Our coaches do a great job of making those adjustments. Give a ton of credit to them. It was, yeah. And so we'll see. He was optimistic talking to him. He knows his body really well. They had an east and west double. He split it and then, just kind of came up where he felt it. So we'll see what that means. I can't imagine that's good for Thursday with just the short amount of time, but I certainly wouldn't rule him out quite yet, but it didn't look good.
So how big was the defensive stand between Kobe's touchdown and his touchdown?
Yeah, it was huge. And then I thought we played complimentary football, Dennis. That's the big thing is you start to just pull away, get it to a 14-point game. I thought our defense did a great job. I'd be interested to see what they saw on the 4th down that they ended up calling the penalty on. I thought Forbes was in pretty good position. But ultimately I'm not responsible for making those calls, but it was a great job by our defensive staff anticipating, the call that they ended up getting to. And then offensively, churned out. It was great to be able to get 1 first down right there. So force them to use their timeouts, and you're giving it to them with less than 20 seconds. You'd like to be able to end with the ball, but thought we did a great job at the end, being able to rally, make the tackle, and not allow them to snap it again. But it was a great team win for us.
From 10 down to 10 out.
Mm-hmm. I just, guys just playing one snap at a time, Kurt. I think that was the key and critical factor is, you don't look at the scoreboard. You just continue to try to stack good plays, stay totally and completely present. And over the course of the game, those things compound in a good way if you're able to put it together offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. And I thought that's what we were able to do.
Sean, what were you able to see in the intermediate middle passing game? Because that seemed to really get the offense on track during the third.
Yeah, I think that's been a big factor for us. The big one, being able to hit a seam. They had mixed up, some of the coverage structures that they were playing to some of the personnel groups, and that's where some of the voids and vacancies. But I thought Matthew was on point, whether it was the movement game, whether it was some of the intermediate stuff. And then I thought we were able to push the ball down the field and take some opportunities. And I thought guys were separating. They're a sticky coverage outfit. And then when they did play, kind of vision zone where their QB key ball out break, thought we were able to make them pay. And that's a real credit to the protection, Matthew playing on time and in rhythm, and then guys being able to get to their spots.
Coach, with the win, you exercise some demons against Detroit. You hold serve for the number 1 position. You're also getting ready to welcome another challenge to the world. As you get ready to prepare for Seattle, what's your process for compartmentalization?
I mean, how do I answer that one, right, without you really putting me in a, obviously the family stuff is, what the hell kind of question is that right there? I'll tell you what, it's, here's the thing. We talk about being present all the time. I think this group did a great job being able to handle this first step of our weekly rhythm and our challenge. Obviously we're praying for a safe and healthy arrival of our second little boy. That'll be awesome. My wife is a total stud. My respect just watching and getting an up close and personal look at this. I could never do this stuff. But there's a lot of love. There's a lot of appreciation and a lot of gratitude. So we'll pray for a safe and healthy arrival. And then I'll be stressed out preparing for Seattle on a short week. But it's good stress, So our guys will be ready to go. It's going to be a great challenge. And, this is what you love about the NFL.
Seem a little sloppy early, drop snaps, miss throws, but then to turn it on like a dime.
Yeah, and I think the key thing was I thought even when we were just a tick off, we were still able to make some big conversions on some of the 4th downs. where you might have missed something that we're accustomed to be able to execute at a high clip, but we were able to overcome some of them. Not all of them, but the majority of them to still be able to get some points. Only punted that one time in the first half and then obviously at the end of the game. But I just think our guys, just play the next snap, do the next right thing. If it doesn't go down, sometimes you're not always going to physically execute the way that you want, but what can you do other than just do the next right thing? And that's what I thought our guys did. Obviously, Matthew got really hot. I thought he was seeing the field really well. I had total command. We were in and out of some different personnel groupings, and I thought a lot of guys got involved. I thought our line was excellent. That's a real rush outfit. We were able to be efficient enough in the run game to be able to keep them at bay, and thought Matthew was excellent in being able to keep the ball in play, even after a couple, things that you mentioned from us just collectively offensively, myself included, where we could be better, but we were able to overcome it.
The first fourth down attempt, I thought the offense was ready to come off the field. What was the thought process on that? And then
Yeah, it was honestly just a change of mind. I felt comfortable using a timeout right there and at a play that we liked, and that's on me. That whole sequence, that was my fault there.
what type of tone did that type of aggressive decision making there, and then going for points at the end of the second quarter set for the team?
I thought it was big, Adam. And guys just delivered on their opportunities. What our job is as coaches is try to make decisions that set our players up for successful outcomes. They're the ones that bring it to life. They deserve all the credit in the world. But there are situations and circumstances where you're saying, man, I got a lot of confidence in our group. Let's go execute. You knew that it was going to be that kind of game where there was some good back and forth, and you needed to be able to know that points were going to be really important for us, and our guys delivered in a big way.
Knowing what's ahead, how much do you consider the short week during the game? Like, I need to do this?
Oh, no, not at all. It's too back and forth. You can't afford to do that. You have to be able to take care of your business. If we were able to establish a lead and do those things, then that's different. But that wasn't the case. That thing came all the way down to the wire. They're too explosive offensively, and shoot, you're still, till that clock hits zero. I'm not feeling great, but I did love the way that our guys handled, the pressure moments at the end.
DK, the last one. Puka hit his 100th reception today. Can you speak to the fight that he's on
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I mean, the guy just produces. He's so tough. There's a couple times where he just drags guys with him where he's saying, just get down so you don't leave yourself. I thought he got hit in the back of the head. He was just cramping on the one that he caught over the middle before he ended up hitting Colby for the touchdown. But he's a stud. He epitomizes everything that we want to be about, as do so many of our players. But it's like Pac-Man. He just eats up yards and catches. And, but he is so tough. Go ahead. You like that one, huh? All right. But he's special. He's a special competitor, special player. He loves the game. Our players, they love playing together. They love enjoying these challenges, and Thursday represents another one, and we got to be ready to go. All right? Thank you, guys.